Hey everyone, if this story draws you in, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right now. Well, look who decided to step foot in a real office. My brother-in-law, Marcus, lounged in the lobby of Patterson and Associates, flashing that smug grin of his as a group of his junior coworkers hovered nearby, like curious onlookers. I'd only stopped in to drop off some documents my sister had forgotten at Sunday brunch. Jeans and a sweatshirt, that was my uniform for the day. I'd been working remotely all morning. What Marcus didn't realize was that the name Patterson on the firm's logo belonged to me. He was likely there to grovel for a position. Marcus's voice boomed across the lobby, making sure every intern and receptionist caught every word. My wife's unemployed sister. Still picking up odd jobs. What's it been now, 5 years? He smirked. Claire, must be tough living off whatever's left in the savings account. His entourage laughed right on cue. Marcus, a seventh-year attorney desperate for partnership, wasn't someone they dared to contradict. The receptionist's face, though, had drained of color. Mr. Holloway, she said nervously, maybe we should. It's fine, Amy. Marcus cut her off with a dismissive wave. Claire's family. I can be direct. Since you're here, Claire, he continued, let me show you what real attorneys look like. My team clocks 2,000 billable hours a year, closes major deals, earns serious money. You know, the exact opposite of whatever you tap out on that laptop in cafes. I stood quietly, holding my sister's file. Amy's fingers were flying across her keyboard now, typing fast, almost frantic. So, what kind of side gigs do you even do? Marcus pushed on, feeding off the crowd's laughter. Let me guess, social media management? Virtual assistant work? Maybe selling crafts online? One of his colleagues chuckled. Legal consulting, I said softly. Marcus parroted my words with exaggerated disbelief. Legal consulting? Really? With what credentials? You went to some public college for undergrad and never even finished law school. I did finish, I corrected. Yale Law, class of 2016. That stopped him for a second. Yale? That's not what Jennifer told me. Jennifer doesn't know everything about me, I replied. We've grown distant, especially since you two got married. She knew I went to law school, just assumed I dropped out when I stopped bringing it up. Marcus recovered quickly, smirking again. Claire came to me fresh out of Yale with a groundbreaking idea for handling corporate clients. She'd spotted how mid-sized businesses fell through the cracks, too complex for local firms, too small for the elite ones. She proposed merging both models, top-tier expertise at boutique prices. I pitched it around town, but I put up my house to get it started. I added quietly, still watching Marcus. Gerald chuckled. Best risk I ever took. Claire built everything, the systems, billing, departments. She recruited half our current partners. We grew from 3 lawyers working out of a rented office to 65 attorneys across 4 cities. Patterson and Associates exists because of her. Marcus had lost every trace of color. But Jennifer said you were freelancing, he stammered, that you worked remotely, didn't have an official role. I do work remotely, I confirmed calmly. I manage our most confidential clients, the ones requiring total discretion. Last year alone, I handled 14 acquisitions worth $3.2 billion. I just prefer not to come in unless necessary. Billion, Marcus echoed weakly. Claire's personal net worth is about $40 million, Gerald said cheerfully. That's her equity share plus consulting fees. She's the highest paid attorney in the state under 40. Jennifer doesn't know, I replied lightly. I keep work matters out of family circles. Keeps things simpler. Amy had finally recovered. Miss Patterson, I tried to warn Mr. Holloway, but he... It's fine, Amy, I assured her with a smile. No harm done. Marcus was just offering me a position in file review. Very kind of him. Gerald's eyebrows shot up. File review? Claire, you haven't handled basic files since your second-year internship. You reshaped corporate law here. The Supreme Court has cited your arguments twice. Why would you? Then realization hit him. His gaze slid toward Marcus. Oh, he murmured. Marcus was staring blankly at the reception wall, where a framed photo I hadn't noticed before hung. The founding partners at our launch event 8 years ago. Gerald, myself, and 2 others. The nameplate beneath read, Claire Patterson, founding partner. I, I had no idea, Marcus said faintly. Jennifer never told me. She made it sound like you were unemployed, having a hard time. I'm not struggling, I replied simply. I just don't broadcast my success. People value different things, I suppose. One quiet associate, who hadn't spoken until now, stepped forward. Ms. Patterson, I used your buyout framework for the Henderson case last month. It was brilliant, saved our client $4 million in restructuring costs. Thank you, I said warmly. Excellent execution on Henderson. I reviewed your work, very thorough. She looked like she might cry with gratitude. Marcus looked like he might faint. Claire, Gerald asked gently, is something wrong? You seem tense. Not at all, I answered. Just here to deliver Jennifer's paperwork. I handed the files to Amy. Please make sure she gets these. Of course, Miss Patterson. I turned to leave, but Marcus' voice stopped me. Claire, wait a second. I'm sorry. I honestly didn't realize who you were. I never meant to be disrespectful. I was just joking about your job, suggesting you review the file at my firm. I slowly turned back to him. Marcus, you didn't insult me. You just revealed who you really are. A man who judges people by appearance, who thinks being between jobs means being worthless, who believes success only looks one certain way. I was kidding, he insisted. Just sibling humor, not serious. You meant every word, I interrupted. You wanted to embarrass me in front of your team, to prove a point, to feel powerful. That's fine. I've met plenty like you throughout my career. The only difference? Most don't make that mistake in my office. Gerald's expression darkened. Marcus, isn't your partner review coming up next month? Marcus' face drained of color. Yes, sir. We'll take that into account, Gerald replied evenly. Being a partner here requires more than strong numbers. It requires respect, collaboration, and solid judgment. And this, he gestured vaguely around the room, shows very poor judgment. Gerald, it's fine, I cut in quickly. Marcus made an error. We all do. You're generous, Claire. Always have been, Gerald said, still eyeing Marcus. But you're right. Mistakes happen. What matters is what you learn from them. Consider this a learning moment, Mr. Holloway. Yes, sir, Marcus murmured, barely audible. I gathered my things and headed for the elevator. Behind me, Gerald was already recounting the story of my first major case, others drifting over to listen. Marcus stood alone at the desk, staring blankly. By the time I reached my car, my phone buzzed, a text from Jennifer. Marcus called. He sounded strange. Said something about you being his firm's lead partner. What's going on? I stared at the message for a bit, then typed back. Long story. Let's talk. You free for lunch? Always for you. Noon at Luigi's. Perfect. On the drive there, I thought about how to explain 8 years of chosen silence. How to tell her I'd built a thriving firm while she assumed I was barely staying afloat. How to make her understand that keeping my success private wasn't shame. It was about wanting to be valued for who I was, not what I'd achieved. Jennifer was already at our usual table when I arrived, her face full of questions. All right, she began. What is happening? Marcus called in a panic, saying you're a senior partner at his company. That can't be real. I sat across from her. It's true, I said calmly. I founded Patterson and Associates 8 years ago, right after law school. Gerald Thompson and I built it together. Patterson and Associates, named after you? Yes. She blinked. You actually did it. I tried to tell you, I said quietly. Remember after I graduated from Yale? I told you I wanted to start my own firm. You called it cute, told me I should get some real-world experience first. There was a pause, the kind that makes your chest tighten. I spoke softly. I can if you really need me to, but maybe someone else can handle it this time. The whole table went quiet. Chloe let out a sharp, cutting laugh. You can barely pay for that salad you ordered. Mom chuckled without even looking up. Not you, sweetie. For once, I didn't reach for my emails or notifications. I just sat on the edge of the bed, thinking about dinner, about Mom laughing while calling me broke. Then I opened my laptop. The glow filled the room. One by one, I logged into every account I managed. Utilities, insurance, mortgage, credit cards. Each one listed me as the primary holder. Their names were only authorized users. It was all there, black and white. I wasn't helping them. I was carrying them. My coffee grew cold as I stared at the screen. Each number was a reminder of how much of my life I'd poured into theirs. I could still hear Mom's voice. "You're good with money, Ava. You keep us steady." I used to take that as praise. Now it sounded like a confession. I opened the phone bill first. 5 lines, Mom, Dad, Chloe, her boyfriend, and me. My cursor hovered over remove user. No hesitation. Click. A prompt appeared. "Are you sure you want to proceed?" "Yes." Electric bill, auto pay off. Water, payment method removed. Mortgage, login credentials changed. Credit card, reported for unauthorized use. Each confirmation email that landed in my inbox felt like oxygen returning to my lungs. This wasn't anger anymore. It was clarity. At one point, the bank asked to verify my identity. The rep was friendly, upbeat. "Just confirming, Miss Collins, you're the sole owner of this account?" I almost laughed. "Yes," I said. That's kind of the issue. When the final account was locked, I leaned back and looked around my apartment. Morning light poured in, soft and golden. I hadn't realized how heavy it all was until I set it down. I thought about calling Mom, explaining what I'd done. But then I remembered her laugh at that restaurant. That smug little glance she'd shared with Chloe. No, I didn't owe them anything. I opened our family group chat, scrolled through old messages, birthday plans, grocery lists, thanks, Ava, followed by yet another money request. I started typing, then erased it. No words could capture it anyway. Instead, I took a slow breath, opened the banking app, and tapped the final option. Freeze all link cards. The confirmation appeared instantly. Account successfully frozen. 5 years of holding everything together. Undone in 5 minutes. I shut the laptop. The room was silent again, but this time it wasn't empty. It was mine. Outside, the city was beginning to wake. Mom was probably getting ready for her day, blissfully unaware that the world she'd built on my back had just gone still. And I didn't feel guilty, not even a little. It took 3 days for the silence to break. It started on a Saturday night, Mom's belated birthday dinner, the one she wouldn't stop bragging about. Chloe had posted photos of the chandeliers, captioned,